Welcome to this tutorial video where we explain the use of Hazcalc. Hazcalc is an online tool that allows you to classify hazardous areas in relation to explosion safety. It is fully based on the ESC standard 60079-10-1, which is commonly used for hazardous area classification for gas atmospheres. We developed the tool to make hazardous area classification much easier, and beside that, to save a lot of time and effort with the calculations and the assessment. Hazcalc is based on a 6-step assessment where you can fill in all the specific details of the assessment. Before starting an assessment, a few specific values must be set. First of all, the substance which is applicable must be added to the system. However, by default, we added over 250 default substances to the system. The sources of these data are the ESC 60079-20 standard, the Justice EVA substance database, and the NIST database. When your substance is not present within the database, you can create a new substance and fill in all the specific fields and save the data to the system. When you want to modify an existing default substance, you have to duplicate it and edit the values within the data and save it to the system. Next, you have to create a new company where the assessment is applicable to. You can create a new company by clicking the red button. For this tutorial video, we already created a new company, Hazcalc. If you are assessing an indoor situation, you have to create a new area. A new area can be created by clicking the red button. Here you can fill in all the specific details of the area, like the name, which company is it applicable to, the height, the length and the width, and the type of ventilation and the direction of the ventilation. For now we cancel because we already have production room 1 added to the system. Now we are ready to start a new assessment, so let's start with creating one. The first step in the assessment is to select the company. Hazcalc, we already created that. Click Next. In the General Assessment tab, you have to add all the specific details of the assessment. For now, we assess a spill of ethanol of 2 square meters. The location of the release is inside and the area is production room 1. Based on the information you added in the definition of the area, here you see all the specific details of that area. Next, select the substance. Again, here you see all the substance details. Select the type of release. For now we choose for an atmospheric release, which is based on the ESC standard of 2015. If you want to, you can upload an image for the reporting function. For now we skip it. The third step in the assessment is the release assessment. Fill in the specific details. The ambient temperature is 20 degrees Celsius and the medium temperature is also 20 degrees Celsius. The liquid pool size is 2 square meter and we estimate that we have an increased airspeed over the pool of 0.1 meter per second. If you want to, you can override the default vapor pressure that is added to the system, but for now it's not necessary since the ambient temperature and the medium temperature are 20 degrees Celsius. And now here you see the automatic values calculated. The mass release rate of the gas and the volumetric flow rate of the gas is calculated. Next, we have to calculate the release characteristic. That is only necessary when you do the assessment according to the 2015 standard. The K factor is a safety factor which is related to the lower explosion limit, and based on that value the release characteristic is calculated. The fourth step in the assessment is the ventilation assessment. Based on the area you selected, the values of that area are presented. If you want to, you can override the air velocity for dilution, but you can also calculate with the average air velocity across the room, which is based on the cross-section space of the area you selected. And here you see that we have a resulting dilution class of a medium dilution. For indoor assessments, however, we also have to assess the background concentration, which is based on the efficiency of the ventilation system. When you click the information button, you get more information about the parameter that has to be filled in. And here you see that the numbers which are shown stands for the efficiency of mixing of the air within the total area under consideration, and 5 stands for a very inefficient mixing, and 1 stands for an efficient mixing. We choose for a moderate efficiency of 3. And here you see that the background concentration is okay. That means that the background concentration always stays lower than the critical concentration, which is 25% of the LEL of ethanol. The last step is to choose the availability of the ventilation, and we choose for a fair availability. Here you see that automatically the graph is drawn, with the red dot marking the point of the dilution class, which is medium. Step 5 in the assessment is the actual classification step, and which is based on the type of hazard. Since the spill is not a normal situation, we choose for a secondary grade of release. And here you see that that results in a zone 2 area. The last step is to determine the extent of that zone 2, and that's based on the type of the release. Since ethanol is heavier than air, we choose for a heavy gas. And here you see that the zone area dimensions without extrapolation are 1.5 meters. Again, the result is presented in a graph. The last step of the assessment is to add your comments or your remarks, if you want to. And add an advice, if you want to. Click Finish, and the assessment is saved to the system, and the total assessment is shown on screen. If you want to download the report to your computer or print it, you can say report, and automatically a PDF report is generated and downloaded to your computer. So this is all. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to try it yourself and experience the easy use of this tool, you can create a free demo account on our website, hazcalc.com.